Welcome to the Uncultured Opinions podcast. On today's spooky Halloween episode.
How is this a spooky Halloween episode?
Spooky Halloween episode.
What do you mean, dude? No, this is the start of No Nut November.
That's true. No Nut November is on its way.
It's already started.
It's already started.
Did you nut yet, Brent?
Oh,
spooky Halloween episode.
It's only the first. That means Brent got home from work last night.
Spooky Halloween episode.
Dude, you already failed No Nut November.
Halloween episode.
Okay, whatever. Alright,
okay, normal intro. I'm one of your three co-hosts, Brent. Next on my left is Ethan. On my right is Sam. And before we get started with the main event, I want to talk about something I watched last night. Arguably the best Halloween movie ever, and one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh.
Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a hot take. It's not a hot take.
It's not hot at all.
But some people say it's not a Halloween movie, and I mean, it can or can't be. It's kind of more of a comedy, but I watch it on Halloween just like I watch Spider-Man 1 of the Raimi trilogy on Thanksgiving. I don't watch Die Hard on Christmas, but...
Dude, Die Hard is such a good Christmas movie.
But it's not the best.
I don't know. I think Die Hard is arguably the best Christmas movie.
The best Christmas movie is The Santa Claus.
No,
Tim Allen.
We'll have this around Christmas, but
yeah.
Elf is the best Christmas movie.
Elf is good.
Elf is really good.
Ghostbusters is just one of the best movies ever made. I really enjoy Ghostbusters.
Can you stop buying
Dude, the palette... Okay, no, I'm not buying makeup.
Is the palette sold out?
I don't know about the palette. I'm just getting the...
I just gotta get the pig mirror.
I'm just getting the pig mirror.
It doesn't even look that good.
Dude, she wanted it. So.
Bro, imagine having a girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend.
Do you have something to tell us, Brent?
No, I have a girlfriend.
You're dating May from...
Shut up.
From Overwatch.
Shut up.
And Overwatch 2.
Dude, that's a compliment.
I'm so excited for Overwatch 2, dude.
BlizzCon's
Wait,
nuts.
what?
They're announcing it.
Yeah, this
Overwatch
weekend.
2?
It's this weekend,
They're announcing Overwatch 2.
And Diablo 4, hopefully.
Actually kept up with any of that shit.
It's about to be nuts. People are gonna go hype.
Yeah, it's like people are gonna be rioting at BlizzCon and they'll be like, Overwatch 2? Diablo 4? Okay, let me just walk in for a second. Let me go play that demo.
I'm pretty excited for it. It'll be good.
That's gonna be dope. Okay, so we're normally a movie cinema podcast. Every once in a while we'll delve our toes into like maybe video games or something. But
if you say we'll double our toast?
No, that is not what I said.
Issue?
No, like what?
At the end of the movie, you didn't even know what he said, and like that's what's been being said the whole entire movie.
No, like, I know he said for.
What did you say?
I thought I thought at the end of the movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he said "for John," I thought he said yes. He said "to the chopper," and I was like, "That's not even." I was like, "That's not even a Terminator reference."
It sounded like something else, but then I started to realize what he said for John. Anyway, we're not even into spoilers yet. We're not even talking about Terminator. Real quick, if you want to hear about video games, listen to my other podcast, the Kentucky Catastrophe Podcast, or Ethan's podcast, whatever the name of it is.
It's called Username Not Found. You can find it on SoundCloud. It's not on Spotify yet, but it's pretty good.
Are you guys really just plugging your other podcasts?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we are.
Hey, Sam, you want to plug like your Instagram?
Yeah, plug your Twitter. Plug your Snapchat on there.
I'm already Instagram famous, dude.
Are you? How many?
No, not at all. I have like 100 followers.
If anyone here is social media famous,
I'm TikTok famous.
Yeah,
y'all want to see my TikTok numbers?
Are you for real, dude?
You want to see my TikTok
numbers?
numbers?
Like the front page?
I've got them for you before.
Okay, so is everyone else. I see the cringy stuff on the.
Yeah, I know, but I'll show you.
I don't really want to listen to it.
I know. I'm showing you my numbers.
Oh, you actually have made TikTok. Oh, hold up. What is this? This looks hysterical.
This one's funny.
What the fuck,
Brent? I'm so disappointed.
See you later.
Of course, Brent has the alarm going off mid-podcast again.
It's just tradition at this point. That should be like one of the descriptions sometimes. Sometimes I'll put... Do y'all even read the descriptions?
Dude.
I put funny descriptions on Spotify.
I don't know. Do
you
people
put
read
funny
the descriptions?
Actually, no. I think I read one. Let me go read one of the descriptions.
Are we reading our podcast on the podcast?
Yeah. How about we listen to our podcast on the podcast?
Let's do it the Joe Rogan experience. But
for our own podcast.
So like
the Uncultured Opinions.
It's just one episode
about Uncultured Opinions.
So we just have to do. So see, here's the thing: we would do one episode, and then the second episode is us listening to the first episode, and the third episode is us listening to the second episode. but it's just a constant breakdown of the first episode. It just gets more and more in depth.
I actually don't disagree with that idea.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, that's actually not a bad podcast idea.
It would be a good idea if I didn't want to if I wanted to pay $15 for a joke podcast about talking about my podcast.
You also said you wanted to do a podcast where you broke down episode by episode, every episode of Horror in the House.
That's an investment.
Isn't this
like
a joke
that's
podcast
worthwhile
that you're paying $15 for?
How is this a joke podcast? This is serious journalism.
Is it? I don't know if I would consider.
How are people going to get their Terminator review and know that it's bad if we don't talk about it?
It came out yesterday, and I've already seen like 50 reviews on YouTube.
We're like professional movie critics.
Movie bad. I'm a movie critic.
Did you really not like it?
No, okay. We're getting into the Terminator. I'll tell you when it's spoiler. Try to keep spoilers until
we will.
Because like
Terminator is not a spoiler-worthy movie.
Stop! You say that about every movie we've seen.
I'm just kidding. I actually really, really enjoyed Terminator.
My thoughts on Terminator basically was it wasn't inherently awful. Like I didn't cringe that much. I don't think I cringed. Like it didn't.
I cringed a little bit, but every movie gets to cringe, especially when you're bringing in an old actor from an old franchise.
And
they're gonna bring it back, and it's always cringy, but it's also you're expected to do it.
Sarah Connor did a really good job.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely. Hers was really good.
Isn't she Linda Hamilton?
Yeah, I don't know her name.
I'm gonna assume you're right, but I also feel like you're also probably wrong. Because through the entire of the Zombieland 2 podcast, you referred to Jesse Eisenberg as Michael Cera.
Yeah, but I knew he was Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, it's Linda Hamilton. See, I know my actors.
Do you?
She's an actress.
All right, name 6 actors right now. If you know your actors.
Jared Leto.
Oh my god. I said actors, not pieces of garbage.
My favorite, Liam Neeson. Shia LaBeouf.
Who's your favorite Liam Neeson? There's only one. Who's your favorite?
Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Where's that movie where he's like on a train or something, and there's this guy, and like it's not the Jake Gyllenhaal one, or maybe he's on a plane or something, and like the guy.
Snake's on a plane?
No, that's Samuel L. Jackson.
Wait, are you talking about?
No, it's
this one. I know which one you're talking about.
It's where like he
Murder
gets
on the Orient Express.
No, he's
not
in that.
It's got like a one-word title.
It's like he's on a plane or a train. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's a train.
And like he gets a text and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna blow this up if you don't wire something into my account."
I wanted to see that, but
I wanted to see it too, but I never did, and I don't remember what the movie is.
I'm gonna look it up. So keep conversing.
Okay, so my problem with the movie is like it wasn't inherently awful. There was a few things I didn't like. It sucked that Tim Miller directed it because he's usually a decent director.
Why does that suck then?
Because this didn't feel
The Commuter
inspired.
Is the name of the Liam Neeson movie.
Okay. Like this movie didn't feel that inspired. Like there were some shots I liked.
It's a Terminator movie though. It's not really supposed to feel
inspired.
I know, but
if you're gonna
feel action, it's supposed
if you're gonna franchise the Terminator, the series that does not need to be franchised, at least bring something to the table.
I don't know. I mean, they franchised it and they did a pretty good.
Pretty good job. Hey, do you want to clarify on that statement?
Action movie.
I take that. It wasn't
like I enjoyed the action scenes.
See, so Terminator.
I was hoping I would, and really I didn't enjoy half of them.
So the first Terminator was really good. I really enjoyed the first Terminator. T2 was also really, really good.
I've not seen the Terminator except for when I was a kid, and I don't remember it.
Everything else was garbage.
So I guess
Genesis was terrible. Hated Genesis. What was the other one?
Salvation
was really bad.
And Judgment Day.
Judgment Day was okay, but it wasn't. It's the best of the new ones.
I guess I have to put a disclaimer that I've not seen the Terminator since I was a kid on
Did anyone
watching
watch
TV.
the TV show?
There's a couple things I didn't.
Did you know there was a TV show?
Yes, I liked the TV show.
What was it? Sarah Connor Chronicles? Is that what it was called?
I think so.
Stories?
Sarah
something
Connor
like
Chronicles.
Sarah Connor something.
I didn't mind the TV show, but I was also like a teenager, so like I really didn't have a
like I haven't seen it since
view of a TV show back then. I was like, oh cool, it's got some robots in action in it.
Yeah, it's like when I watched the Terminator on TV, I was like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's a robot, and he's
it's like people. That's really the only movie he can act in. But like I will say, his acting was subpar.
I liked it.
He's also really old.
I liked it in this one for what he did.
He was kind of fat for being a Terminator.
He was very subpar in this movie.
Like the movie,
it was very poorly acted.
I'll say, and the thing that sucks about this is the movie was so one note and bland until Arnold showed up, which sucks.
I liked the first half better. I liked it better before he was in it.
I feel like it lightened up a little bit more, which I guess is probably a bad thing. It just kind of sucks with, like, most people are going to be like, oh, the movie's bad until this big name actor shows up or this big main character. Like, I don't think every movie needs to bring in the nostalgia of, hey, there's this main guy. Like, if you wanted to focus on Sarah Connor, you can do that and not have to rely on, like, Arnold. And then they did, but then, like, they didn't make the Sarah Connor parts as good as they should have.
What do you mean? Her parts were phenomenal.
They were good, but they weren't as good as when Arnold showed up.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I much preferred her parts.
I think we disagree with you on that.
I much prefer the Sarah Connor parts.
Like, I think she did an amazing job.
She did an amazing job. That's not what I'm saying. My point about it is I don't feel like it was substantial enough. Like, I didn't feel... Like, she was an amazing actress. She did a really good job. I even liked Grace, and then Danny was fine. The problem with it is I feel like it was a little one-note, a little bit boring, and the whole movie is, but it just didn't feel like it picked up until Arnold.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about Zombieland. Like, you didn't like it. Now... Like,
no,
now I don't understand how you said it was...
I don't understand how it was boring to you.
I thought it was,
like I said,
super action-packed.
Like I said, I prefaced it by...
the beginning.
Like, the fight scenes were sick.
Like, I'm, like, watching
the 5 minutes in, and...
I'm watching the beginning, and I'm like, dude, this is the whole trailer within, like, the first 10 minutes of the show.
Some of the action scenes were okay. My problem with the action is you don't get much enjoyment when, like, they kicked his butt, and then he just reappears, like, a million times.
But that's, like, the point of the Terminator. Like, you're constantly fighting him off until you find a way to kill him.
It was just... And then, like, the way
but
they killed him...
But this was also, was it Rev 9?
Yeah.
Rev 9, is that what it was called?
There's a couple
That one was sick.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That was dope.
The one in the future where, like, it has, like, tentacles and it looks like Alien, that was a cool looking, like, Terminator. I think it's the same one, but, like,
It's the same
It's the same one, but they never showed the tentacles, like, in modern day, so that's why I'm saying when they showed the future.
What are you talking about?
It was like... It was like
launching the back... And they're, like, stabbing them with the tentacles.
Yeah.
We're in spoiler territory, by the way.
We're approaching it.
Is there any final thoughts you want to say, like, non-spoiler?
I just thought overall, it was
we should probably at least wait until the 20-minute mark before we get to...
Yeah, true. Okay, no spoilers. You keep
Overall,
hitting the mic, and this is going to be hard to edit.
It's going to be fine. Like, it's a little bump.
Dude, your girlfriend will be fine without a pig mirror, dude.
Dude, no, I see. I'm determined to get it now. I'm with the damn thing at this point. She can't have it. It's mine.
You could sell that and buy about 40 different mirrors.
Dude, I put two. I accidentally put two in my cart.
Oh, that's
I should have gone ahead and bought both of them, but I got rid of
I got rid of
them. You could have sold that, dude.
I could have.
You should have bought as much stuff as you can afford.
Or, you could buy podcast upgrades.
I barely any money. I paid rent yesterday.
I feel that. It's a mood.
You don't pay rent.
Yeah, but it's a mood.
Don't pretend we're on the same level.
Hey, I pay insurance. That's enough out of my check. I'm an adult.
You're barely an adult. Brent, every time.
Stop sleeping your alarm.
Why did your alarm go off at 2:09?
I don't
know. If you snooze an iPhone
I didn't
alarm,
snooze it. I don't know why
like
I did
9 minutes
it.
later.
When did you snooze it, though? Because it didn't go off at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
His alarm went off at 2 o'clock.
I didn't snooze
It'll be in the podcast, dude.
Dude, we're going to get copyrighted for having, like, 1 second of Country Roads.
Is that your ringtone?
We've went over this in the first podcast.
So you wake up to Country Roads every day? That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Like Country Roads.
It never gets
Take me home.
It never gets to the like singing part though, because I always turn it off fast enough.
Why do you pick that song?
I think I just
West
like
Virginia.
when the Fallout craze was big, I kind of just made it that, and then now like it's a song I don't care if I hate, so I just kind of left it.
You should.
Do you remember when Fallout 76 came out and that song blew up again?
You should wake up to Cleaning Out the Rap Game.
No, because then I'll hate it.
Yes, please do hate it.
Like most other people.
Like, the song is so bad.
Lil Windex is... Dude, he's cleaning up the rap game. He's so good. He slaps, dude. Stop it. The mic's going to pick that up.
Oh. You know what it's going to pick up? Eating mints that you didn't cut out of the last one. Right next to the fucking mic.
I need to
talk about how it's going to be cut out.
Yeah, in there. Did you listen to it?
No, I haven't.
Did you go back and listen to it?
I listened to
Literally, Sam goes, "Don't worry, Ethan. This part's gonna get cut out. Doesn't matter." And then it's up there on Spotify for everybody to listen to.
I need to re-upload it because I think I can just like re-upload a file and without it really messing up the episode order. I just haven't cut it yet.
Yeah, so now if that happens, though, you're gonna have to cut this part out where we talk about it's being cut.
It doesn't matter.
It's not going to be in there, and they're going to go back to listen to it. But we're not cutting this, and it's going to get really confusing. So just don't go back and cut it. Just leave it.
Y'all are looking too much into this.
We're just uncut.
Okay. Anyway, back to the Terminator.
We're definitely not uncut.
I will say, I did enjoy it. I didn't think I was going to like it, but it was really good. It was really good.
I really tried to have an open mind, and I didn't hate it. I just found it boring. Like. There wasn't a lot of things I was like, that's awful.
That's how
it was just kind of boring.
When I met you.
Yeah.
I didn't hate you, but you were kind of boring.
Yeah, I hated you.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were annoying. I was like, oh man, Cameron brought in a friend. I'm like, this guy
doesn't like mac and cheese.
Dude, no. Hold up.
And then now
are we doing
like
this right now?
Buds.
Are we going to have the mac and cheese debate right now?
Do we need the mac and cheese debate
even have
on the
time?
podcast?
I don't know. It lasted 3 days last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying Brent's taste in macaroni and cheese is awful and incorrect.
It's really not, dude.
It really
Velveeta is disgusting.
That's
and
not
Kraft mac and cheese.
You keep bringing that up, and that is not.
You keep
the
saying
argument.
it's good though, and it's not.
No, Velveeta is good, but my argument isn't that Velveeta is good. My argument is that the Kraft macaroni and cheese powder
is God tier.
Is not God tier. No, it is not.
God tier.
It is
bad.
It's not.
It's arguably bad. It's eatable, and it's
arguably,
very. It's the best.
You're trying to make opinions fact.
No, here's the
thing. You keep saying arguably.
It's the best. It is the best convenient mac and cheese out there. I will give
Which
it
makes
that.
it the best mac and cheese.
No, it doesn't.
No, that's not how mac and cheese works.
Dude,
that's
here's
like
how you make mac and cheese.
Because McDonald's hamburgers are convenient, that makes them the best hamburger there is.
Are they not?
No.
You're right.
What is your argument?
Kraft mac and cheese just because it's convenient.
Here's the thing. Here's how
doesn't mean it's good.
Here's how you bake macaroni and cheese. It's all got to be homemade. You have to have 4 kinds of cheese on there. It's got to be.
Are you gonna give a recipe on the podcast?
Yes, it's got to be cheesy as shit. All right,
We're now a cooking podcast.
You have to have a shit ton of cheese, and then you gotta. You get if you can get a fucking blowtorch, and you brown the top.
Why would I blowtorch my mac
brown
and
the
cheese?
top, and then you put the breadcrumbs on top, and then you bake it again. That's God tier mac and cheese. That's how you do it.
That's just crunchy and disgusting.
Dude,
oh my
Brent doesn't
God.
know what good mac and cheese is.
I'm sorry I live like poor while y'all are living bougie.
That's not no.
Mac and cheese is bougie.
Yeah, just not.
Yeah, with a blowtorch.
Not anything other than Kraft is bougie macaroni and cheese. Brent, I feel like you're the type of person who, whenever your family went to a Mexican restaurant, you ordered chicken nuggets.
Oh no, dude! I be getting the tacos and the chimichangas, my guy.
No, my God, no, absolutely, you're the kid who.
Mexican food's my favorite type of food.
It is the best kind of food.
I agree.
I was like, have you seen that tweet where it's like, my son is so diverse, he's only 4, and it doesn't matter wherever we go, whether it be a Mexican restaurant, an Indonesian restaurant, he will always try the chicken nuggets on the menu.
That's my little
I'm like,
sister.
I was like, that sounds like Brent to me.
That might be kind of risky though. At some places.
It's probably just, they probably just buy a bag from like Sam's Club.
That's 100% all it is.
Because they don't have them that often.
They probably got like the dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Dude, those are so
Dude, dinosaur
good.
chicken
nuggets shit, dude.
Those
Dinosaur
are good.
chicken. I don't know what, dude, that shit be hitting different.
Dude, do y'all
Bringing
remember
that
the...
back.
Yep.
Ooh, this shit hit be... Oh, fuck.
This be hitting
Ooh,
different.
this shit be hitting different.
This hit be shitting different.
This hit be shit.
Do y'all remember...
That was me last night when I got home.
Do y'all remember like
What's Brent?
This be shitting different.
Brent broke that No Nut November last night.
How?
I never confirmed nor denied that.
Absolutely
we're not going to discuss it.
You confirmed it when you didn't deny it. You confirmed it when you didn't deny it. Here's
Spooky
the thing.
Halloween episode.
Shut the fuck up.
Do y'all remember these like Lego the Eggo waffles?
Are you also gonna plug your Lego?
No, that is
Lego
dead.
YouTube channel.
That has been dead for years, and I don't want to discuss it. Do y'all remember the Eggo waffles? But they made
Lego My Eggo.
Yeah, but they made it
they
a
could
version
sit on top of each other.
Shut. Yeah, they made it one time where they were like Lego bricks, but they were still waffles. Like I can't remember if that was like a figment of my imagination or not.
It probably was.
I feel like all of this is just a figment of Brent's imagination, like this, but he's sitting in the corner of like an insane asylum, and he's like,
I believe it.
Like, we're making a podcast.
Because
I saw Terminator,
podcast.
and it's terrible.
I aspire to be like Jared Leto.
I say one time that I don't mind his Joker, and y'all are like, Oh man, it's got your boy Jared Leto. Like, don't bring up Jared Leto.
Okay, Brian, you have a poster of him in your room.
Cause I don't like blank space. It freaks me out.
Okay, if I don't like, I would rather have blank space than Jared Leto's face next to my head while I sleep.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
That's my point. Of all the things you
Fine,
could
I'll
have done,
go buy a Joaquin Phoenix
I was
poster.
gonna say,
and
of
I'll
all the
replace
things you
it.
could have done to fill the void in your room.
Next week I'll have a Joaquin Phoenix poster.
Okay, bet. While you're out, buy me one too.
No.
I would like one as well.
Do it look like I care about you?
Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
That was hurtful.
I'm really sorry.
That didn't feel like a joke. I felt that in
Brent's
your gut when you said
so
it.
easy
really
to like guilt him into making him feel bad. Like Brent would just make a joke with you, and you'll be like, "What the fuck, Brent? That fucking hurt me. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was just
so
joking.
sorry."
Yeah, cause like I feel like I physically want to die if I hurt somebody's feelings. Like I'm really bad at being mean.
I mean, you make me feel like shit all the time.
Yeah, but that's because I don't like you.
Oh my god, Brent.
I've told you, like, and for people on the
he literally told you earlier in the podcast.
no, for
Literally,
people on the
literally yesterday, Brent sent me an email when he sent that email in our group. Because he got moved. He's not at his desk anymore. He's in the very far corner, away from everyone else. He sent me, what was it? Oh, he was like, "We're not gonna just talk about movies anymore." And I said, "Veto." And then I look over and I see him. He sticks his head up from above his monitor and he goes, "What the fuck?" And then you replied to it and you said, I agree with Brent. And I said veto, and Brent just kind of peeked his head around the side. He just kind of glared at me from above his monitor.
You also never you never focus on the fact that I misspelled your name every single time.
I know I was ignoring it because
that was actually really funny.
It was funny, but
that was really funny.
I would just I would mix up the letters in his name. I think one of them was Thane.
Yeah, one of them was Thane, but like I really wanted you to. I knew you wanted me to acknowledge it, and I wasn't going to give you that satisfaction of acknowledging that I knew what you were doing. Actually, my name. Okay, so obviously my name's Ethan, and there's one way to spell Ethan. There's literally one way to spell Ethan, and like I never would have thought I'd gone through the trouble of people misspelling my name, but it happens all the time, and I don't understand.
Do people ever put like an E instead of an A?
They'll spell it E8. I've had ETHEN, EATHEN, EATHAN. Where are you getting the EA from? My name is not Ethan.
I think people just don't know how to spell.
Smell?
Yeah, people definitely don't know how to smell.
Is that why this room smells so bad? Because you don't know how to smell.
That's just because I'd be like up in
Nutting
the
on November 1st. No, not November.
No, I don't do that. I'd be up in the wee hours of the night. Okay, shut up. I'd be out in the wee hours of the night gaming, sweating, carrying my teammates in Call of Duty.
I'm just saying we can't. Okay, I know you told who was it? You told one of the supervisors to listen to our podcast. I can't listen to this one. Actually, he's your supervisor.
No, it's fine.
I was like, he's your supervisor.
I don't
Do you
care
really
if
want
they listen.
The
supervisors don't care.
No, that's what I'm saying.
We shouldn't talk about work on the podcast, but yeah.
I was just saying.
I agree. We probably should.
No, yeah, I 100% agree with that. But I don't know if you want your supervisor listening to you talk about your nut.
Y'all brought it up. I don't contribute to any of that. We're moving on with the podcast. We're doing it in my own home.
You can cut that part out.
The damage is done.
There it is.
His address is.
This is your clap sync.
We don't need the clap sync. That's staying in here. Now I'm gonna see that and be like, "Oh, it's a clap. What am I doing?"
He's gonna cut out like the rest of the podcast. You're gonna cut it there.
It's like there was never an in sync.
Oh, here's the in sync. There you go. Cut
Oh
that
my
part
god.
out. Don't cut that. All right.
I was gonna say something earlier. I need a preface. If I'm being really mean to someone, that means I love them. If I hated them, I just wouldn't talk to them.
Dude, I feel that on
Dude, I really do. Like, I'm really mean to all my friends.
I think that's what I told 100%. You and then Billy one time, because I always like mess with Billy a lot, and I was like, dude, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't talk to you. Like, I know I'm a jerk sometimes.
It's not that I'm not gonna talk. I'd be nicer to
I mess
people
with you because I love you.
Not necessarily I don't like, but I'll be nicer to people that I don't know very well.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want them to think like I'm completely.
Like if I don't have that friendship established, I'm not gonna be like, hey, fuck you. You know what I mean?
I said a joke the other day, and like I thought someone was gonna take it completely wrong, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I'm gone. But then,
as long as you don't tweet it, it can't come back in 20 years.
That's
so
true.
You're good.
That's true.
As long as you don't tweet it, because like really, shit's not really being brought up from any other social media that I think about it. It's only Twitter.
I'm worried if we do a live podcast.
Why?
Like, y'all gonna get canceled.
Canceled?
Why would we get canceled?
If anyone's gonna get canceled, it's gonna be
It's
you.
gonna be you because you're ugly as hell, dude.
Oh shit! I
Yeah,
was
you're
only
right.
saying it was gonna be Brent because it's like the podcast is under Brent's name. I wasn't gonna personally attack him here.
Why would
but
we get canceled? There's some definitely non-PC podcasts out there.
there's a lot of non-PC.
I think that's kind of how podcasts.
That's
podcasts
why
need to
Joe
be-
Rogan got canceled.
He's not canceled
not
though. Joe
canceled.
Rogan's the biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah,
Joe
but
Rogan
canceled
just-
doesn't mean they got shut down. That just means their Twitter canceled.
Yeah, but so
Rogan.
I
Joe
would
Rogan
love-
just
I'd
has
be-
beef with Spotify
dude,
for whatever reason.
I'd be off all social medias if I was Joe Rogan level. Like if we got this podcast all Joe Rogan level, I don't care if I got canceled. or
Apparently, he
anything.
did a podcast with Edward Snowden. I don't want
He
to
did.
listen to it.
He
I'm
did.
gonna
It's
listen
good.
to it
We
today
talked
at
about
work.
it last. It's kind of boring.
It's
like we
boring because
said.
it's like 90% Edward Snowden just talking.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of questions.
Apparently, he was like roasting Joe Rogan, where he was like,
He
I
did at
never
the
heard of
beginning.
the podcast.
He did at the beginning. He's
Yeah.
like, I saw your
He was like,
I saw your
why do I
logo.
know this guy?
Your logo, and I'm like, why the fuck would I go in this thing? Like,
Yeah.
it's you with a cartoony face and like some random like anti-government symbols or something. And, like,
Yeah,
I'm
And
like,
then he gets on the podcast and they talk about deep questions and
yeah,
politics.
like
and-
it's super deep. Like he'll get people to open up completely and answer questions that they never would.
I think the only Joe Rogan I've watched is the one with Dr. Phil, and I didn't even finish it. and I'll
Dr.
probably
Phil was on
finish
Joe
it.
Rogan.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
it was a really good episode
I
from
didn't
what I
listen to
watched
that
of
one.
it. Like Dr. Phil, like
Does he ever have
Obviously, like-
Danielle Bergoli on there?
obviously Dr.
Did you
Phil's
see
a
they got a
smart
fight?
guy, but
Yeah, I
he,
was gonna
like,
ask you that. I saw that.
Dude,
Danielle Bergoli and
her-
Woe Vicky
Woe
got
Vicky got
I saw the
Fine.
Snapchat stories, but I
Woe
never
Vicky
really like
apparently
looked
dropped
into it.
She apparently dropped a song diss.
It's probably
Bad Baby.
trash.
Honestly, dude, Bad Baby doesn't make some bad music.
Oh my god, Sam.
I'm
She has a
not
song with-
listening to
That's-
it.
She has a
That's
song
a hot take right there.
she has a
Bad
song
Baby's
with-
not garbage.
She has a song with Lil Yachty. It's like Gucci flip flops. It's low key a banger.
Okay,
Oh my
Gucci
God.
flip flops.
It's low key a banger.
Yeah, but it's
Gucci
Lil
flip-flops.
Yachty.
Yeah,
she
it's
has,
probably
like-
it's not her. She didn't make the song. She's featured in it.
No, I'm saying it's Lil
her
Yachty, so it's
song.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lil
there's some-
Yachty's in it.
Here's the thing.
She has another one that's not bad too.
I don't know. Like, this might be a hot take. I have respect for Bad Baby. I hate her as a person. She's a terrible person. But she got famous on fucking Dr. Phil, and she fucking ran with it.
Yeah, I
it's
kinda-
like Mason Ramsey,
I kind of
dude.
agree.
That's what
Like
I'm
it's
saying. So,
cringy,
like-
It's
but
like
like
these
she
people
did
that can
something
go
with it.
like these people that are going super famous off like memes and shit is nuts.
Dude, remember when they used to,
Yeah,
like,
dude, he's
memes
on, like,
used to get
Old
up and
Town
used to
Road
ruin
and
people's
stuff.
lives.
Well,
Remember
like-
Star Wars Kid?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
like
Star
people
Wars
get
Kid?
bullied like
The
crazy.
kid who they had the videotape it in like the broom closet or whatever, and he was like at school, and I guess he didn't know he was recording. Something happened. I don't remember.
Talking
but
about
he was-
Airsoft Fatty.
No. Airsoft Fatty is god tier YouTube content, dude. I'm telling you, Airsoft Fatty does everything. He does workout videos. He does cooking videos. He does airsoft videos. He does lightsaber reviews. He does his own storyline Star Wars content. Are you kidding me? If you want to watch anything, Airsoft Fatty has done it on his channel.
I don't
I'm
watch his
telling you,
main
that
stuff,
man-
but I watched that
man is a
iDubbbz documentary.
legend. Dude, the iDubbbz documentary was
It was so
hysterical, and it
good.
made me scared for my life that people like Robert are alive.
I know.
Like that
He was
man
like,
is
I got a
scary.
knife, and iDubbbz was like,
That man is scared. Did you watch it, Sam?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
it's
do you know who
it's called
Airsoft Fatty
full,
is?
It's called Full Force.
No, I don't know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
so
Oh,
Airsoft.
God.
I'm just
okay.
staying out of this
So
conversation.
here's the thing. Okay, I don't even know where I was going, but Airsoft Fatty. So, are you gonna pull it up? Okay, so Airsoft Fatty is he's this really really fat YouTuber. He's self-aware. Like he's made a name out of it. And it started off he just made like airsoft reviews, and then he made some this guy. Have you seen
That's
him?
Airsoft
Yeah,
Fatty.
I've seen him before.
Yeah. So he's
He's the one with like the lightsaber battles.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's him.
That's Robert.
There's Robert. Okay, that's his best friend, but now it's his ex-best friend. So you know who iDubbbz is?
Yeah, they have
of course,
bad
right?
blood, dude.
So iDubbbz was like, I want to do a documentary on this dude. So he gets in contact with him.
iDubbbz used to be my favorite
He
YouTuber.
drives
He's so
down
good.
to he drives up to Minnesota. Is it Minnesota that he's in?
I think so.
I think it's Minnesota. I don't know, somewhere. He drives to wherever he's at and stays there for a week with Airsoft Fatty and does a whole documentary on him. And he's like, all right, I want to know a little bit about Robert. He's like, we're not going to talk about Robert. He's like, I'm not talking about Robert. I'm like, and they're like, he's like, whoa, what's going on in here? So
He's like, I wanted to see a lightsaber.
So he
duel.
gives him Robert's address, and he goes to Robert's house, and he interviews him, and then like you realize Robert's fucked up.
He was like, I got demons.
Yeah,
He's like, the demons speak to me, and I was like,
they're like, what? He's like, what do they say? And he's like, I can't say it.
he's like, I
And then
can't
iDubbbz
translate it.
and then iDubbbz goes, what? You can't pronounce it? And he's like, no. He's like, the way that the demons speak, he's like, human tongue can't express. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And like, they look terrified. They're like, oh, okay. And he's like, what's he say? He says like, I am the end.
Yeah.
He's like, I am the end. And they're like, what does that mean? He's like, I am the end. And it's like, it's the most uncomfortable thing ever.
I think
you gotta watch it. Play it at work today. Play it at work. You can just listen to it.
I will.
I'd said
you
something like,
watch
hey, do you have
some of
any
it.
like weapons or something? He's like, what, you mean this one?
Yeah, they're like, do you have any weapons? He just pulls out a fucking knife. And they're like, whoa, okay. And then they settle their beef by doing a lightsaber duel. And like,
one
it's
last
legit.
battle.
And then like, it's like, yeah, it's like one last battle. And then like, they go out there and they bring out Airsoft Fatty. And they bring out Robert. And then like, they get into this like Star Wars headspace. And he's like, I didn't know you'd come back here. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then like, Robert just proceed like the whole, it's called Full Force. The reason they're not friends anymore is
because Robert goes full force.
Robert always goes full force, but Robert maintains the fact that he never uses like 30% of his power. Like, this is legit. And
I can't
like,
tell if
mad
it's like a
they're doing,
bit or not.
I legit can't tell if it's a bit or not. And like, Airsoft Fatty gets mad because like, they're supposed to be filming like these skits. They're like pre-written out, and like, he gets mad because Robert smacks him with the lightsaber as hard as he can every time. He's like, you're going full force. You don't go full force. And that's why they're not friends anymore. Also, there's a couple other things in there. But then they have this lightsaber duel, and they just like, essentially just Robert like smacks the shit out of him. And then they just leave. It's the strangest thing.
It's
But you gotta
so
watch
good.
it. It's a pretty
It's
good
so
documentary.
good.
It's really funny. It's really uncomfortable. What was it like when iDubbbz first pulled up? Like, he's got a couple of friends over.
Yeah,
and they give him like a gift bag. But the gift bag is like a Red Bull and then like a pair of socks or something. Like, it's really weird. There's like a can of beans in there or something. It's really weird. And then like he's like I couldn't talk to I couldn't ever talk to Airsoft Fatty because his friends kept bugging me and asking me questions about like PewDiePie and shit. It was the strangest thing, but it's really funny. It's really good.
It's dope.
Anyway, what was I
I'll have to
saying though?
watch
Because
it.
I got off on
Movie
a
I don't
tangent.
good.
even know. We should probably get back to the movie though.
True.
Movie bad.
The
Stop,
movie's not bad.
dude. The movie was actually really good.
Like I said, like I don't want to make it seem like it was an awful, terrible movie and they shouldn't have put time into it. It's just I don't feel like it
Would you
entertained
watch
me
it?
enough.
Would you watch it again?
I would consider buying it on Blu-ray, but I also
Okay, if
collect
you
Blu-rays.
would maybe
How
buy
are you
it,
gonna say
then
it's
you.
bad if
I
you're
collect-
maybe gonna buy it?
That's what I'm saying. I preface by saying I collect Blu-rays, so take that with a grain of salt. Like I'd consider buying it on Blu-ray when it came out, if nothing else came out around that time. If it was the only release that like paycheck, I might be like, okay, I'll pick it up. But if it's like some really good movies are coming out on Blu-ray around then, I would hesitate.
I just can't imagine what other thing else that will come out good near this time other than maybe Joker. But Joker probably come out 2 weeks before. Ooh, maybe not. I don't know. It'll probably be in theaters longer than Terminator.
It will.
So-
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
It's
don't think
weird.
this is a
They're
bad
super
movie.
weird because
I just found it boring.
It Chapter
Some
2
of-
is still
What
in
do you
theaters.
find boring about it?
Yeah,
'Cause,
what I
like,
found boring because it was just so action
from the
packed.
very beginning, I'm like, holy shit! Like they're just going in, like they jumped in right away.
I don't know. It's hard to articulate it into words, but it just didn't like. There was a lot of action, but some of it was kind of bland. It fell into some tropes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just didn't. Some of the action was cool, but I just couldn't find myself getting immersed when the dude just kept getting back up and back up. And the main villain was actually kind of charismatic and entertaining. Like I didn't hate him. And then the third act was good and bad at the same time.
Are we in spoiler territory now?
real
Yeah,
quick,
we're definitely
I'll say
going
this
into spoilers.
I'll say this real quick, and then we'll do a spoiler section. Like the third act was good and bad at the same time. There's things I was like, "That's really cool," and then there's things
Like
I
what?
was like,
What did you?
We'll
What,
get into-
what did you watch? When
Okay,
you said,
guys.
That's really cool.
"Let's recap real quick." We're going into spoiler territory.
Is that a
I'd
recap?
say
Because that happened like 5 minutes ago. No, it happened like 30 seconds ago.
no. I'm saying recap isn't like our thoughts and then score.
okay.
If
I
you were
thought you were
if you were to
recapping.
score it,
That we were going to.
if I was to score this movie, I say I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Like
6 out of 10.
it's like I said, I didn't
I
hate
can-
it. It was just average, a little above average. Like
I
it
will
was just
say-
boring. But I haven't seen the other Terminator, so it's not
Easily
like I
top
was
3
invested.
Terminator movie.
If I was invested in the
Yeah,
characters,
for sure.
maybe.
I don't know what I would rank the Terminator movies. I definitely am not going to sit here and rank all of them, but I will say 1, 2, and 3 top Terminator movies are going to be Terminator 1, T2, and then this one. I don't know what order.
I think a lot of people.
I'd have to
would put-
I'd have
I'd
to
have
rewatch them all probably in one go to be
Yeah,
able to
the
rank them.
consensus
But
is
it's
T2's better than
T2.
T1.
Everyone says T2 is probably one of the better movies.
but it's definitely above all the others.
oh, for sure.
Like it's definitely better than. I think it's because it's rated R for sure.
I think that
Yo,
definitely
like-
helps a little bit.
No,
They're
that's
able
what
to
I
do some
hated
things.
about it. It didn't need to be rated R except for like showing Grace like naked for like 2 minutes, and then
And
they
they
just
cussed
wanted
a little bit.
yeah,
I
they
was
just
gonna
dropped
say,
the
she said
F bomb.
fuck
No, I'm
constantly.
saying the only reason it was rated R is to show Grace naked for
I
like
don't
2
know. It was
seconds,
fairly graphic.
and then to drop the F bomb a
I
few
don't
times.
know. It was fairly graphic. If it was rated PG-13, so we
I
wouldn't
don't
have
know.
gotten the titty. Actually, we didn't get any titties.
No.
We saw ass, just
Yeah.
a little bit of ass.
Just a little ass. It's definitely a
Little-
Even
little
with
ass.
violence,
bit
I didn't
ass.
think it was too violent. Like most
It's
of it
not
was
the
robot.
violence that the issue. I think it was
That's
the
one.
graphic.
That's what I was saying. That's the only reason.
5
Because they
minutes
showed her
in-
naked and
What
then
do you
they
mean?
cut
5 minutes
like,
in, it shot a kid in the face.
off screen.
Yeah, but that was
Marvel
pretty
movies
bad.
have done worse.
Okay, yeah, it shot that kid on the face, but then he shot John right in the chest, right
Yeah.
on camera.
Off
A
screen.
child.
No, John.
No, John. It showed him shooting John. A child.
No, off screen he shot him and then it cut to him bleeding.
I don't know. I think there's. I don't know.
Like that would get past censors.
Would
No.
it though?
Yeah.
I
Would
don't-
it?
I don't
Marvel
know.
movies have gotten away with some stuff. Like they don't shoot kids, but like they've
That's
gotten
my
away
point. It
with
was a
Yeah,
child.
That's the next level
A
thing.
child is definitely
That would
like,
not get past.
that
the
would
rated R
get
censor.
that would get past censors.
No, it wouldn't.
not.
They would not,
Not
be allowed. A
how
PG-13 would not be allowed to have a dead kid on the screen.
It didn't show him shooting. If it
It
showed
him bleeding
if
out
it
on the
showed
floor.
him if it showed the bullet going into the kid, then yeah, it would.
Is that the defining feature? If you watch the bullet go in,
Yeah, honestly, I'm not kidding. That
I don't
is
thi-
what goes past censors. Like if you just
I
show
don't-
him on the ground bleeding, okay, that's no big deal. It leaves up to imagination. Well, technically, you know you shot him. You know what
that's
I mean?
what I'm saying.
But like, it's if you see it. It's
I don't
one
know.
of
It was
those.
fairly graphic. It was really graphic.
I don't know. I don't work for the ratings board, but I'm
You
pretty
just acted
sure.
like you did. You were fairly confident on.
I'm fairly confident, but with a grain of salt, I don't work for the ratings board, so
Okay,
I
if you're
can't
fairly
say 100%.
if you're fairly confident, you can't also say.
I
with a
can't
grain
say
of
it's a
salt.
fact, but I'm fairly confident. I guess that's
but
what
you
I'm
can't.
saying.
You can't say I'm fairly confident and then say take it with a grain of salt, because if you say you take it with a grain of salt, it means that
You're
you're
not
not
confident.
confident at all. That's what
No,
that
that's not what it means.
That's-
It means
yes,
it's,
it is.
It
That's
means it's
literally-
covering myself for
No, no, no,
saying
no.
I'm not giving you a fact. I'm just saying I'm
No, no.
confident.
No, you can say that, but like the statement.
If
take
taken with a
that
grain of
a-
salt, that
take
means
with
I'm
a gr-
covering my own
No,
butt
no, no,
by
no.
making sure
No, no,
people
no.
know it's
No,
not
no,
a
no.
fact.
No.
Yeah,
saying-
you're just wanting to roast me, but you realize
No, I'm not
I'm
trying
right.
to roast you. I'm saying
Yes.
the expression with a grain of salt means very.
It's not confirmed.
No,
It means it's not confirmed.
No, it means
Yes.
take what I say very lightly because I don't really know. It does not mean you're confident when
Yeah,
you're
I
saying
don't.
that you don't know. For
I don't
sure.
physically like. No,
No,
I
if
haven't
you
talked
say
to the
t-
ratings board, but I'm fairly confident. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, if you take something with a grain of salt, then you have to take it very lightly.
I
because
hate
you. Are,
You're literally like you argue semantics so
Oh,
hard.
well, what's the podcast called? Exactly. Someone's got to do it. You're welcome.
I think the podcast is hard for all three of us because like all three of us are people that like to talk and not shut up when someone else starts talking.
It's true.
Because
we
like
definitely talk over each other.
yeah,
What?
we'll start talking,
What is
then
happening?
someone else will keep talking.
We're all
and
talking-
then,
we're all
like,
talking.
Bring it in, Sam. There you go.
We talk over each other a lot.
It's like most conversations, like you start to talk and then someone's talking. It's like okay, whatever. And then us, we would all just keep talking if like we knew.
That's
how to
ridiculous.
shut up.
I don't agree.
Okay, but Ethan, what are you rating the movie? Brent's got his 6.
6? I mean, solid 7.5, maybe higher. It was a really good action movie.
Don't give it a 9.
It was a really.
Oh,
it's
it's
definitely
definitely
not
not
a
a
9.
9.
No, it's definitely not a 9.
It could maybe breach to 8s,
I don't
but
see
it'd be
it.
a low 8.
Yeah, it'd be
Like
a low,
benefit
low
of the
8.
doubt, I
It'd be
can
like
see
an
7,
8.1.
7.5, but I can't
I'd give
see
it
8.
more like a 7 point. I'd probably right around you, like a 7.
Honestly, if you're
7.5
if you're rating the story, you're probably gonna be between 6.5 and 7.5. But if you're on based on like the action movie, probably close to. I would say with action, you could push it up to 8.5.
I don't
So
even.
I'd give it a solid.
I don't even
7.5
feel like
to
the
8.
action is worth 8.5.
There's definitely
Really?
some things where I was kind of like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Like-
The third act.
I
was
will say
kind
since
of-
we're in.
No, not even before the third act. Like when
Since
we're back in spoilers.
we're not in yet. Oh,
Yeah,
are we?
This,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going in spoilers.
Okay,
Yes.
we're in spoilers.
Like when they cross the border. Like they cross the border, and then the fucking UAV comes down and like suicide bombs.
Yeah.
Police car.
I like how
And then all of a sudden they're just in the thing. I'm like, okay, we're not going to research the fact that like
what the
a
fuck
random
happened?
UAV from our border control,
Yeah,
like our side of the border control, just bombed this police car. But we're not going to look
that's
into
the
that
only
at all.
thing. Yeah, there was a
Like
couple.
we're just going to
Yeah.
take them in.
Well, here's the
because
thing.
that's
So
Yeah,
like,
that
so
wouldn't make
Grace
sense.
saw that coming down, right?
yeah.
So she ran and she broke the cuffs and she ran to push her out of the way. She gave her like a good shove, but honestly, it doesn't matter how hard she shoved her. She couldn't have pushed her, and this is being very generous. More than 20 feet.
No, she like threw her. She like
That's true,
picked
she didn't
her
pick her
and
up.
threw her.
But still.
But
I
she's
guess
a
strong.
superhuman.
She's strong. But still.
I mean, they took
don't
a
think you
little
can ever
damage, so I
do-
can justify it a little bit. Like they took
mean, that
damage,
was okay.
but
Like, she
Here's the
almost
thing.
died.
Here's my biggest issue.
I never
with
saw
that.
Sarah Connor
So
run
when
away.
he's
So
when he's
or even
border
the
patrol,
uncle.
right, and then right after, so the Rev 9 is
Yeah.
border patrol. He's pretending to be border patrol or whatever, and then all the immigrants break out.
Yeah.
They all break
Why he had
out,
to kill all
and
the
then
border
the
control?
state troopers come. He's like, "Hey boys, how's it going?" And then
Oh,
they
yeah,
have their
that.
little thing, and he's like, and then border patrol dude is like, "Do you have any idea where I can get a chopper?" And then like
And then
and
it's
then
gonna
it
be
cuts, and then he's in like and he's in a police helicopter. I'm like, hold up, why did you just give him a helicopter, or why would you tell him?
Yeah,
that?
like how do they randomly
why?
just get a
I
helicopter?
was like, why did
I
border
like-
patrol need
I
a
like
helicopter?
Yeah.
Like that didn't make any sense to me.
I like the part of him talking to everybody. That's why I thought he was.
I thought that was
he was a
cool.
decent villain. I thought he was charismatic. Like he did. I kind of hated him. For
I did
a
say-
while,
I
and not
thought-
I
in a
like
good
all the
way,
changes.
but then he kind of
and-
got charismatic a little bit.
I thought he did a really, really good job as playing,
robot.
a robot, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in a human body, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Especially at the
Like
beginning.
him changing his voices all the time,
yeah,
like accents and everything was really good.
yeah.
I hate-
Especially at the beginning where, because like when he'd like his
Right
emotions,
away.
when he'd look around, like you
Yeah.
could tell he was like kind of robotic. But also, I kind of have an issue with that. Like, would he have? You'd think he'd be as close to human as possible because he's, the most upgraded Terminator out there. So
Yeah.
wouldn't you see that less? But they also put. I don't know. I think the main reason was just so that we knew he was a Terminator. But I feel like if he was the most upgraded Terminator, you wouldn't have been able to tell. But then also that would have made the
Are you
movie
saying when he was
confusing.
his dad?
Yeah,
Or like because when he was the dad,
yeah, he
it
was really robotic when he
Yeah,
was
I
the
would
dad.
agree 100%.
But also, I think it was so the audience knew
I think I was on my phone on that part.
I also think like
why.
You were on your phone like
I was
half
trying-
of the movie
okay.
trying to buy this palette.
I was trying to get the Jeffree
the
Star
biggest
palette.
thing
Okay,
that makes sense is like, well, like they don't have feelings, so like you see that a lot. Even when he's the dad, I understand what you're saying with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but like when he was the dad, because like you would think he'd be this super smart, which is my big thing. Like I hate when they talk about how like insanely smart or like upgraded something is
Yeah.
compared to everyone else, and then it's like getting fucked up by like humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I always hate when that happens. Like
yeah.
like even when they're in the place, he's like pushing in with the dad and like all this stuff, and I'm like, he could have done so many different things.
I will say I would have kind of liked to see him
Or like when the border patrol
fuck
happened,
that
like
head up.
you wouldn't fly the UAV in. You would just let them come to border patrol
Yeah,
and then like do it from there.
I hate one thing. Like this is kind of off topic, but one thing I hate in the movie that I kind of saw them do, and a lot of movies do this, and for some reason it bugs me enough to talk about it, is like the trope where like when a character turns, like the character hates a person, and all of a sudden they save them, they save the person they hate, and then like the camera gives the
Yeah.
look where it's like, okay, like I hate that. It's such a trope, and I hate it. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
I get what you're saying.
It's like I get it. Just do the character development in another way. Quit giving me like Sarah Connor kind of does that where she saves Arnold, and she's like, I don't want to call him Carl.
No,
Yeah.
don't call him Carl.
That was
Don't
stupid.
call him Carl.
But can you call him Arnold? Because his name's not Arnold.
Yeah, you can call him Arnold. Literally, does Arnold play anything else besides the Terminator?
Besides Arnold, I mean,
like this
he's
is what we
Arnold
talked
in
about.
everything.
Like
Dude, no.
the only thing he can play is literally the role that he's in right
I
now.
would
No,
say he's
and
Arnold in
the-
everything, and then Kindergarten Cop.
No, and then the movie where like with Turbo Man. What's the movie where he goes to get the Turbo Man action figure? It's a Christmas. It's one of the best Christmas movies.
Oh, I forgot about that. I will say though, I don't like. So this is a big spoiler, but Arnold turns good. So obviously, if you've seen Terminator, Arnold's the bad guy. Like he's the badass bad dude who went back in time to kill, John and Sarah Connor. But he's good in this. He's like developed feelings in a family.
I feel like they explained it well.
I don't think they did explain it well.
I just feel
because
like...
see, here's the thing. They're like, "Do you love them?" And he's like, "Not like a human would." But then he obviously is extremely sad that they had to leave because he's like, "My past caught up to me," and he's like, "I gotta go help this group of people." Like he tells his family that, and he's obviously sad about it. But like he doesn't love them because he can't because he's a robot.
Well, I didn't.
But he can obviously feel sad. So if he can feel sad, why can't he love?
Yeah, I don't really.
So they either need to
develop feelings.
Like they either need to have him capable of developing feelings, or he should have been able to discard that family like they were nothing. You know what I mean?
Be all in on the feelings or not.
Well, but he also said like their relationship wasn't like physical. It was just more of like a dependent kind of like he cared for them. But like, see, if he cared,
that means he has feelings.
I didn't even get like the hint that he was like really sad. Like I felt like he didn't want them to, sad. But it's not like he was crying. He didn't show that much. And even when he died, he didn't do it for his family. He did it for John Connor.
That's my point. Why did he switch sides? That's my thing. He was built to kill John.
I feel like they explained it by saying like he was starting to kind of like he wasn't building basic emotions, but he was building somewhat of a consciousness to kind of care of what happens. It's more of like you don't have to love someone completely to kind of be like, oh, they died. It's more of like
I don't know. Like
I'm the one defending this, so like it's weird.
That's true. You didn't like the movie.
That's the only thing I didn't like. Understood about it is kind of like they kind of set it up to where, yeah, he used to be evil, but he kind of the more he accomplished his goal or just kind of walked around, the more he kind of started thinking more. The more he kind of started developing somewhat emotions or complex algorithms that kind of give him like
I don't know. I don't like that they gave him feelings. I just didn't feel.
I kind of like it, but it kind of reminded me of like Marcus Phoenix.
I don't know, like a Terminator. Games. Like Terminator's built to have one purpose, and the fact that, I mean, I guess because he achieved the purpose. I guess because his purpose,
Skynet doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, here's the thing. So like, I mean, I guess maybe
purpose.
It's not like he just immediately got feelings. It's not like one day he woke up.
I know, but here's what I'm saying. I guess
it was more of like I think it was more of like wandering around for so many years. He's kind of just like. And then he even explains is like he kind of started being like, what now? And then he found that family, and then that family kind of gave him more of an understanding of human life.
Yeah, I mean, but his purpose was to kill John Connor. So I'm trying to break it down. I'm trying to understand what the movie said, right? So his purpose was to kill John Connor. At the beginning of the movie, we see he kills John Connor.
Yes.
So then he doesn't have a purpose anymore. But why didn't he go back if he doesn't have a purpose? Shouldn't he have gone back to get another mission?
Skynet doesn't exist.
It's true. So is that why he stayed?
John died in 98, and the apocalypse was supposed to start in 97. Or not, yeah. So Judgment Day was supposed to happen in 97. So with it not happening,
oh wait, never mind.
Well, that's the whole thing. Yeah,
the movie didn't count.
The movie Judgment Day happened, and that's like the post-apocalypse.
That's the thing. Yeah, I forgot. So Judgment Day.
Like Judgment Day never happened in this movie.
So to clarify,
it was supposed to happen in 97. John dies in 98. So Skynet actually doesn't exist. So like. Essentially, he can't get orders, and so there's also no way for him to go back. Because there's just not a future for him to go back to. Like, there's not... Like, his future isn't there for him to go back to it.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. But, like, still...
I still agree with, like, him developing feelings. And, like, he made it seem like it was...
Why did he made it seem like it was,
like, right after John died.
Wait, he said it...
Like,
he said a couple months after I killed John.
But that's pretty soon. Like, he's a robot. He doesn't have feelings. Like, why is he randomly just going to take this chick and kid under the wing?
Right.
Like, that's just not what... Like, that wouldn't make sense.
But see, the thing... Like, it would have made more sense if the chick and kid, like, would have... I don't know. They would have... They you know what I mean? Like, if there was a reason for them...
Yeah, like, it was just very
There was
random.
no reason.
It was
like, because they weren't... There was nothing... Like, they didn't show up in the... Like, we see them come home.
Yeah.
And then he greets them as his wife and kid. I mean, it's obviously not his real kid.
Yeah.
But he greets them as his wife and son. And then he sends them off and says goodbye as his wife and son. but like we don't see why there was the connection, like why he clicked with them, like why he picked them to start a family.
And like, why would his purpose? I don't know.
I think it was more he used them to kind of like get a semblance of a human life. It's like he enjoyed being around them, and he cared for the son. He cared for the wife,
also implies
and he cared about giving them a life. But he used them to kind of feel more like a human.
Yeah, that's true. If he was using it to try to be a human, I guess it makes sense because I guess him as a robot was trying to find another purpose because his purpose was done. But I don't know. It felt forced.
Yeah,
it was a very quick segue into it. Like honestly, I feel like the whole reason for that was to be able to put him in the movie as the good guy.
I don't know. I feel like
that was the whole reason to give him a family was so that you could that he kind of has feelings.
I agree.
And then you can make him a good guy, and then you can flip the script because like it's like, don't get me wrong, like it's
and then
you're
like Terminator versus Terminator.
Like it's a really cool idea, but I honestly think it would have been better if like why not rewire him to be a good guy so that it makes sense.
I get what you're saying.
It doesn't make sense to give him feelings and then him want to do the right thing because he's a robot. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, and
if they would have found a way to rewire.
I do feel like they that's the reason they did it, but I also feel like
it wasn't terrible. I just think it could have been done better.
He was like a cold-blooded killer, but who's to say that they have like artificial intelligence, right? So who's to say that they don't have the capacity to start to pick up feelings and emotions?
True, they were able to take over the world.
He didn't full on become a human. Like you could still see that he was stiff. He was like still more of like a robot. Even when he joked, he wasn't completely.
That was fucking stupid.
Some of those jokes were really bad.
He's like when they were like, "Why?"
I kind of like the Arnold
when he
jokes.
was like, "Why does she like me?" And he's like, "I'm
that was
handsome."
a good one. See, that was a good one. I like that one.
What all did he say? He said, "I'm handsome."
I can change a diaper.
Yeah. He's like, He's like, I can change a diaper and not be disgusted. I'm very funny. I'm like, are you fucking funny?
Yep.
I like that.
That's what he said. I'm extremely funny. I was like, dude, I will say this was probably his worst acting role.
I disagree.
Well,
I mean, I don't know his entire
I've never
filmography,
seen him in anything
but
besides Terminator.
Did you not watch Kindergarten Cop?
I've not seen.
He was so good in that Christmas movie, Jingle All the Way. I think is what it is.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't know if I would classify it as good.
It's so good.
He was so space in that movie. He was definitely in the movie. That's about as much as I can give it to that.
It was a really good movie.
It was not a really good movie.
I really enjoy that movie.
You can enjoy a movie and it not be a good movie. I agree
with that. And I haven't seen it in a while, so if I might for a Christmas episode we can analyze some movies, but
Die Hard.
Actually, isn't our Christmas episode the one before Christmas? Isn't that Star Wars?
Star Wars? Star Wars is like December 4th.
Because
Star Wars is December 17th.
Because we're taking Christmas off.
Then, yeah,
are we taking Christmas off?
Yeah, I won't be in the state.
Yeah.
Unless I'm recording it from out of town.
No.
Tell your girlfriend I said hello. If you guys are still together.
Oh, that's really morbid.
That was rough.
I mean, you already nutted once.
I was gonna say you didn't last.
So
you didn't last 12 hours. So
I got it this time.
Oh, what? You got 29 days worth of no nut?
This doesn't count.
Yeah,
you didn't do No Shave November anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to before we go to work.
So you gotta shave
before work. You're gonna shave before work?
Yeah.
Bro, you're breaking all the rules on November 1st.
You gotta shave the 31st.
Shaving on November 1st counts because that's like the clean start.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, technically I feel like for No Shave November you're supposed to start 31st, but I feel like if you shave before the end of the 1st, you're fine. So I'll give you that one.
The only people that shouldn't be shaving on the 31st are the ones that are using their beard for a Halloween costume.
Mm.
Yes.
That's acceptable.
I feel like also if you spent if nice
Sam.
I feel like if you've grown your beard for longer than I feel like 6 or 7 months, you should be able to get a pass on No Shave November.
Oh, I agree.
Because if you've built that up and you have a really nice full beard,
I wouldn't shave it.
I wouldn't shave it, and I wouldn't expect someone else to shave it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's I wouldn't cut my hair. If someone made a bet right now and they're like, we'll shave our heads, whoever loses. And I'm like, no.
I'm
like, yeah, no, not happening.
Hey, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, we
I gotta shave. I gotta get Former Friday.
We gotta get
Oh my god. Let me do the outro.
Let me listen to the end last
Yeah,
time?
I liked it. Let me do the outro real quick, though.
It ended really well.
Yeah, hit us with an outro.
Thanks for watching the podcast, guys. If you enjoyed our thoughts on the Terminator, make sure to... we don't have a Twitter or an Instagram for the podcast yet, but I'm working on that, so feel free to hit me up on Twitter at porkchop1864. If y'all want to plug, you can.
Now we're plugging Twitter.
If y'all want to plug, you can. Like, you can hit me up. Since we don't have a Twitter or Instagram or anything for the podcast yet, you can't hit us up there. So go ahead and hit me up or them if they want to plug. Like, what should we see? What are your thoughts on the Terminator? Feel free to do whatever.
We take some fan questions.
Check out my YouTube channel, PorkChop118.
Questions.
Yeah, that'd be good if we
we
could do a Q&A if we get an audience.
Questions of the week.
So yeah, I guess that's the question of the week. What did you guys think of the Terminator?
We have a question of the week.
Oh, we're giving out questions.
Yeah, question of the week.
I thought we were going to be answering questions I had for us.
I like answering.
Yeah, we can do both,
too.
but we can also ask a question.
Okay.
So, what were your thoughts on Terminator Dark Fate?
I thought it was pretty good. What about you, Brent? Oh, you weren't asking me? Oh, sorry.
I'm asking our non-existent fans.
There's probably like 6
we
of them out
we
there.
got some good listeners, though.
We got some good ones.
All right.
Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to the...
You better shout out.
Actually, you know what? We got to shout out Bailey for sure.
Yeah, shout out Billy.
Billy was nothing but supportive, and he told us that he loved it. So
And now I roasted Billy.
Shout out to Darren.
That's true.
Billy said something, and I'm like, I don't even know what I said. I was probably mean.
Shout out to Darren for talking about our podcast highly.
Public apology, Sam. Publicly apologize to Billy.
We can't give his information.
I don't apologize to anybody.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate Billy listening.
I do. I appreciate everyone listening.
Yeah, I appreciate Darren a lot too. He's been giving me a lot of good feedback. Really likes the podcast.
No, Darren can piss off. Darren abandoned us.
True.
All right.
Is there anything you want to say or plug, both of y'all?
I'm good.
We're good.
Ready? Check out was it Podcast Unknown, Name Unknown?
Username Not Found podcast is found on find it on SoundCloud. We haven't uploaded in a long time. We're struggling.
Check out
got
the
like
Kentucky
3 episodes on the back burner.
podcast.
We just gotta get it up, but it'll be up. It's pretty good. It's better than this one, I'd say. But
stop.
Oh,
this
did I go
solid,
there? I'm just kidding. This one was really good. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, this episode was good.
All right, is that a wrap? Are we done?
That's a wrap.
All right.
See you guys next time.
Ooh, I love it.